Today we are going to see about psychodynamic placeholder. This is Sadish Kumar from SK Tech Channel. Before going into the topic, I am reverting once again. Rephrasing once again. Please subscribe the channel if you are not yet subscribed. Then only whatever the videos I am posting will reach you automatically. Let us into the topic. So dynamic placeholder is nothing but each time you add a rendering using dynamic placeholder, a unique key is generated. That unique key helps us to maintain the data source. One example is static placeholder. What is the problem is in static placeholder, the key is static. So due to which the data source are shared across multiple rendering. So because the key is static, it is not able to identify which data source belong to which rendering. So dynamic placeholder is not like that. It generate different unique key for each rendering, so that it is used to provide a very efficient way of component with unique values. Hence it facilitates us to produce a different data source. Let us see the demo how this will work. Let's into the demo. Today we are going to see about the dynamic placeholder. So before going to the dynamic placeholder, let us see the drawbacks in static placeholder. So what happens is when you use static placeholder, when you duplicate the content or you use the same component again, the data source remain common. Okay, because the placeholder is static. Now for the demo purpose, I have created a three rendering. Sorry. Two column rendering. Okay, you see two column rendering and right column and left column. Okay, this one there. You see the table in the layout. I created this structure. Okay, this is a structure. So here is the main center. This is my placeholder. Two column placeholder will be placed here. These are some other placeholder. In the two column placeholder, I am having another two column component. I am having another two placeholder, that is main left and main right. This in turn this is the right content file, main right content file, that is the right component file. Similarly, you will have this is the left content file. Okay. Now let us see how this will behave. So home page, I'm selecting a data source for this. Okay, first I'm adding the left component. I think it will take some time. Adding left one. Okay. So I'm selecting data source for this left component. Okay, I'm selecting this data source. Okay. Similarly for the right component. I'm selecting the data source and changing the data source. That's this one. Okay. Now see the same left component is replicated. If I am selecting a different component for the right component, okay, I'm adding right component. The moment I select the right component, automatically loads the previous one. So now I am selecting associating content, different content. Maybe I am associating data 4. Now see this two component and the component below is data source is different. So when I save, after save, let us see the uh, difference. Okay, this two component, this is different. So for that the testing use, I am also changing this source. Okay, so I'm changing this one, some different data. Changing this one. Now I have changed. So this two change, this two change, and this is two different and this two different. When I save, see what happens. I have saved. So whatever the last selected, that is changed. Okay. Both are same. Both component or now have the same content. See, both component have the same content. So enable dynamic placeholder so that you will see how it works. So I'm changing my main to make to column layout placeholder dynamic. Okay. Similarly, I'm changing the this placeholder holdings value, main left and main right value dynamic placeholder. Placeholder, okay, dynamic. So by changing this, it will not work. So we need to do a lot of changes in the platform side as well. So we need to install dynamic placeholder.mbc from NuGet, and we need to copy the bin files and the app settings files, and we need to override Sitecore extension class to accept dynamic placeholder. Before going to demo of dynamic placeholder, we need to understand one thing. We need to install dynamic placeholder MVC through NuGet in your solution. Okay. So I already installed, and if you install, you will get two DLL, that is dynamic placeholder MVC. You need to copy this two DLL to your website bin, and there is a dynamic placeholder.config in include folder. You need to copy this dynamic placeholder.config file to your website bin include folder. Okay, and there is a Sitecore helper extension class which you need to override in this application to dynamic placeholder to work in HTML.Sitecore dynamic placeholder. Okay, you need to use this extension class methods. Okay, then only this solution should be working. Otherwise, a dynamic placeholder will not be work properly. Okay. And after that, you need to build this DLL and put it in your bin website bin. Okay. Let us go to the demo. Continue with the demo. So I have done that. So this is my experience editor of my home page. So here I'm adding my components, that is two column and array. See how this behave differently. Okay, so in this left side column I'm adding the left component. So create a left. So I'm tagging the associating the content. So let us say the content item I attach data 1. Okay, and here in the right component I add the right rendering. Okay, so I'm tagging the associating the right side content. Okay, data 2. Okay, now I'm saving it. So have done this. I created a two column component and I tag the content. So I am again adding another component. Say another two column component. Okay. And now the left side, I'm adding the left component. Okay. I'm tagging the data 3 content data. Okay, this is a different image. You see, okay, on the right side, I'm adding right component, right rendering, and tagging the associating the data 4. Now I'm saving it. If you see, this is different. This is first two column component has different values, and the second two component has different values. Okay, this is the use of the main use of the dynamic placeholder. Okay, you can add similarly. You can add any number of dynamic placeholder. See, this GUID, this unique UID is the difference between static and dynamic placeholder. See, what happens is in static placeholder it will be static, so the data source it's not able to identify the correct component. So here in dynamic placeholder, so all are unique key generator. How this generator? So you are installing a dynamic placeholder.mbc package in NuGet and copying the DLL as well. Upsettings you need to copy it, and there is a sitecode helper class extension method for the HTML string you are introducing that. So based on this three things plus this unique key will be generated. So this unique key will help to identify the value, identify the component its unique value. So correctly at keeping that data source unique. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe the channel if you are not yet subscribed. Then only whatever the video I am posting will reach you automatically. Thank you guys. Good luck. Bye bye.